What's good, everyone? My name is Casey Crutchfield, and welcome to episode 22 of Enjoy Life. Before we get started here today, please hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to leave a comment. Just want to say thank you to all the listeners and all the viewers for all the support and all the love. Truly appreciate it, and we're going to keep on chunking out episodes. But without further ado, my guest here today, a great friend of mine, consider him a brother of mine, my hype man, was always in my corner, former basketball player. Now he's formed his way to head coach at Assumption High School. The shirts are fire, by the way. I appreciate it. My man, Mr. Clement.
Of course, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. You look good in it, man.
Hey, man, Assumption's gonna be popping this year. I like where you're going. I just want to say congratulations to you.
Thank you
for that. I know that's a big deal. You know, anytime you're a head coach or anything, that's gotta mean a lot. So.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate it. Oh yeah, we got to it. We got to it. We wanted it, and we went after it, and we got it done. So.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna kind of touch on that, but without further ado, man, I appreciate you coming on. You know, like I just kind of said earlier, you've always kind of been in my corner, like since day one. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I'll keep it real for all the viewers. Any like kind of discouraging moment I had, I feel like I'd talk with you, and every time like you kind of make me feel better. And I think you kind of took that as a testament to kind of what your buddy Brody. Shout out Brody.
Shout out Shreds.
If you kind of want to touch on that, like kind of just seeing how he formed his way into who he was today.
Yeah, no, I saw the consistency firsthand, and I saw that, you know, my man B had a plan, and you know, he didn't waver from it. He got it done at all costs, and the biggest thing with him was consistency, and he'll tell you that. You know, he does do special things. He is like a special person in his own space, but he's super consistent, and that goes from like his schedule to him waking up to what he eats to making videos and content at the gym. I was able to see it firsthand, and I got a lot of respect for him as a man because of what he did. And, you know, I say sandbox, but, you know, it's not like we were 3-4 years old hanging out with each other. Yeah. When we got to E.D. White, our high school together, that's when, you know, we really kind of became, you know, friends, and I was able to see it all. I was able to see him be this small, I was able to see him as that small kid who I wanted to punch in the face every day to being who he is now. So it's pretty cool, and I'm happy for him and his growth. So I mean, I see a lot of the same want and the same hunger in you because you're first starting this, and you know the biggest thing you can do is keep somebody uplifted, keep them positive, and keep them consistent. You know, consistency kills, and you know, comfortability kills as well. So you know, kind of gotta choose one.
Yeah. But I really appreciate that, and you know, Brody's killing things.
Yeah, he's doing well.
He is, even though he always gets hated on for being small.
Yeah, I know you got small caps, bro. I'm sorry, but they are. Deal with it.
But moving on, man. I just kind of want to share a little story with you because I feel like this will kind of shows just like how much, I guess, your family kind of means in the community. And I know sometimes like when you hear that, that might be a little like kind of weird to think of. But obviously your dad, shout out Mayor Clement.
K-Dog.
So I've never told this to anyone, but when I first met him, I was probably in like 4th grade. I had just moved to Thibodaux in 4th grade. Like I went to St. Joe, and I was playing biddy. And it was like the championship or whatever, you know, it's around Christmas time. We finish the game, whatever, you know, we win. Quinn. Fun fact, that's Quinn's only biddy trophy he's missing. 13.
Really?
It's mine. It's my trophy.
Yeah, good for you.
We like that.
Good for you.
But anyway, so I'm walking out with my mom, and your dad comes by, and he's like, oh, like, just kind of talked to me for a little while. Gave me this new basketball, you know, really nice NBA. And I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, it's something super special, but you know, that kind of meant a lot to me at the time because, you know, I didn't have like crazy amount, but you know, to say I just got that, you know, just from him, that kind of meant a lot. So I just wanted to share that little story with you.
That's cool, and it's totally believable, right? You know, he says this all the time, and you know, me and my father, I guess we both have a mentor, and Joe Dean Jr. He runs a used to run a basketball camp in Mississippi every summer. And, he would just say it. He would say two things. He would say, basketball is the window to a person's soul. And he would say the athletic arena is God's greatest workshop. So, like through those two things alone, you can impact a lot of lives. Whether that's giving a kid a ball, giving a kid a high five when he just lost the game and he's walking by himself away from the arena. When you're in a position of power like that, especially with bitty basketball, you're able to see the emotion of guys winning and guys losing a game that may not mean a lot to other people on the outside, but it means a lot to them. And what we try to do is just turn those moments into bigger moments, right? And you try to give people a reason to go home and think about where they just were. And, that's what bitty is all about. Bitty basketball isn't about being the super competitive and being the best. It's about giving these kids moments, and I guess that's a really
I don't it's something I remembered. Like it stuck with me.
It's definitely him.
Yeah,
and when people bring him up, it's never been, oh man, stop talking about him.
Yeah,
you shy away. No, I learned to embrace it. I think that dude is cool as you know what.
Yeah, he's a great person.
I'm definitely glad he is who he is in my life. For sure.
Do you think, like he's kind of shaped you into the person, helped shape you into the person? I feel like he just kind of has good morals, a good mindset. Like you said, he kind of learned that from Joe Dean.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think he's done like the perfect job. We only want it done one way, Pops. How is it? It's perfect, and that's him. He tries to do the right thing all of the time. Like we just talked about consistency with Brody and yourself. Like he is the most consistent person I know. And I take everything from him, and that's my best friend. It's never been, we haven't been best friends every day of our life. There's definitely days, weeks, months, where I've gotten frustrated with him because his expectations are so high because of what he does. And it's totally understandable. And it's on me to meet those expectations. But yeah, like all-star of a human. Couldn't be more happy that he's in a position to run this city. Still don't know how the hell he's doing it. We're gonna talk about that. But no, I think he's the man for the job, and that's not me biasly speaking. As in he's seeing how he lives and understands that, hey, he's capable to do what he's doing, and he's certainly done a good job with me and my two sisters and older brother, for sure.
Definitely. But kind of moving on a little bit towards you, just because I went to camp there, when was your first time going to Betty? To Dixie.
To Dixie. Dixie Basketball Camp, now known as String Music Basketball Camp. I went when I was 9. You have to be 10 to go. It's from ages 10 to when you're a senior in high school. My older brother was there at the same time, so he kind of put in a little request for me to go. So I went as a 9-year-old.
Was your dad already?
He was not a coach there at the time.
Okay.
So when I showed up there as a 9-year-old, like every day, I'm on the phone crying like a little baby. Hey, come get me, come get me. I was so homesick. Mm-hmm. And I think through him, like just like constantly dealing with these coaches, like, hey, how's my son doing? Hey, don't tell me my son's crying again. Like, he was just like, you know what? Next year I'm gonna just go coach it, because he coaches basketball himself. Yeah. He's a basketball guy. So an opportunity for him to coach is an opportunity for him to coach. So he went the very next year and like he fell in love with it himself.
Yeah.
And took a little bit of that homesickness away from me, I guess.
And the rest was history. I feel like, cause he's a legend there.
Oh yeah, they call him the mayor. Yeah, they called him the mayor there before he was the real mayor.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that fit.
I think that's probably where he got his inspo, to be honest. Probably.
Right.
But yeah, man, I'm sure you probably have a lot of good memories. You still go, I'm guessing?
Oh yeah. I was not able to. So I've been every summer since I was 9, except for my senior year at Nichols. We had workouts in the summer. COVID, obviously.
Yeah.
And then not this past summer, but the summer before, when I was a Dobo at Nichols, Division I guidelines, I couldn't be at a camp with high schoolers, for recruiting violations or whatever. So 3 summers off since I was 9 that I've missed it. It's like mandatory. I gotta be there.
It's a given.
Oh yeah. So as soon as I was done being a camper there, I went back and started coaching. I had to. That was goal number 1. Get back there.
So kind of tell me about your own basketball journey. I feel like you said, your dad loves basketball. Basketball is just kind of almost like the center of everything. So why don't you kind of tell me about that?
Yeah. Well, him being the director of Biddy basketball obviously jump started me a little bit early. Seeing my older brother play Biddy, seeing my older sister be a part of Biddy. You're that little kid in a basketball gym watching older people play basketball.
Yeah.
So like, obviously I grew up wanting to play basketball. My brother played baseball as well too, and I'd run around like a little kid asking everybody for a hamburger at the park.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't the same. I love being around that basketball. When I was able to pick it up, I had to put it down since. And I tell people I don't know anything but basketball.
Yeah.
Because to me, basketball has taught me everything. Basketball teaches me life. Basketball teaches me more basketball. And so, you learn everything. You learn how to interact with people. You learn how to interact with teammates and work towards a common goal. You teaches you everything. You bounce it up, it comes right back to you. Don't ask no questions.
Yeah.
It doesn't worry where you're at on the weekend. It doesn't worry what you're doing when you're not away from it. It's just there. It's there for you. So like Patrick Beverly said it perfect. Like a rainy day, I'm gonna go get my ball. Times are going bad, I'm gonna go get my ball. Times are going good, I'm gonna go get my ball.
Yeah.
And I got nothing else to do, I'm bored, go get your ball. Like, that's all it is. And like I just took that quite literally. I took it quite literally, and I don't want to put it away. And the pace I'm at, I'm not going to.
Not anytime soon. So kind of tell me your time like as a player. Like obviously in high school, I know you were a great player. And then you go to you ended up playing college. Was it hard to kind of like let go of the game as far as like playing wise?
Playing wise, you deal with every emotion, right? Because like you could say I was a good player, above average player in high school, and then I was fortunate enough to go to one of the top ranked junior colleges in the country, in Clarendon College. So when I got there, it's a culture shock. You're not playing with guys you're better than every single day. You're playing with people who are better than you and guys who are just as good as you. So being around some high level athletes like I was over there set the realization in like, hey, after this 4 years of college is done, like it might be time to move on.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And then, after Clarendon being able to move on to Nichols, after Nichols, kind of wondering if he still wanted to play, because everybody who plays after high school and in college most likely will have an opportunity to go play professional ball somewhere. There's enough places in the world where you can find it. To me, I just kind of realized that, if I'm in a working world, I'm in a business world, I want to get to some money, right?
Yeah.
You obviously need to support yourself.
And that's really not like a...
Yeah, I understood that I can make more money coaching and teaching than I could playing. So that's all it was. And then, I've never looked at it as putting the ball away. I'm the coach. If I want to practice, I can practice.
Yeah.
At last year at Nichols, Coach, Boog asked me to practice sometimes and be a part of some drill. Like, of course. Same thing at Southwest when I was there a year before that. Of course, anytime. Like, you don't put it away.
Yeah.
You just change how you use it. So that's what I've done.
Yeah. And so kind of tell me about this next step in your life, coaching, like you kind of said at Nichols, but this is kind of a little bit different. What is that like?
I still don't know what it's like.
It's still new.
Yeah, it's still new, but it's expected. Like, man, if you've been around me the last 3-4 years and 5 years where, me kind of getting into training and coaching and just being around me and hearing me talk about my plan, like, I called this shot. And I hate to be the cocky and arrogant one, but I called it. I wanted to get into college and make an impact there. And what other place to start at in Southwest Mississippi where Dixie Camp and String Music Camp is hosted. What an opportunity it was to be there and to coach there. And then what an opportunity it was for Book to ask me to come back home and be a part of this.
Shout out, Bud.
Yeah, shout out to him. I had him, man. Like, one of the
hiding.
Get on the pod, Bug. What we're doing, but one of the most like just real people in this world, man. Tell it how it is every time.
Oh yeah,
I can get down with that. That's
and that's what you need, especially in these days.
Exactly.
And it's crazy because I remember being at EDY, me and Quinn like training with Bug, and it's like he has not changed.
You get to where you are by being yourself, and authenticity kills. Yeah, he's authentic. That's for damn sure.
And another thing I kind of wanted to touch on, I like how you said, like you called your shot, but I feel like that's more like, which I admire about you. You have so much confidence in yourself that like, what's like that it can happen. I think about that a lot too, like kind of with this stuff, I don't think I'm cocky. I call it confidence.
Yeah. You
just know.
Exactly. Right. Like, you just know it's that shit is real when you speak something into existence. It happens, And like, I didn't know I was going to be at Assumption High School. At the time, I was going to be at Assumption High School. But, I knew that I was going to be a head coach at a young age, just from at the pace I was going, just from with the work I was doing and putting in. Just being around other people who are in this space and saying, hey, you could probably do this, you could do this. And then being able to look at them and be like, yeah, I will. And then, I'm going to try to.
Yeah.
To have that payoff is big. And look, I haven't done nothing yet.
Yeah.
I'm
still earning stripes.
Yeah, I haven't done nothing yet.
But, I mean, that's the best part, I feel like I haven't done really
right.
either.
It's just part of it.
Yeah, we're just kind of embracing it, I think it's just something you take day by day.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet it's got to be a lot different for you now that, you're kind of, I think it always hits a lot better for kids to be coached by someone somewhat young. I'm not saying that an old coach is not capable of getting stuff done at all. But like, a younger coach kind of has the mind of a younger player.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, definitely. And for me, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
For me, I've seen it like firsthand, like very firsthand. My first year at Clarendon, I had a second year head coach.
Mm-hmm.
My first year at Nichols, I had a first year head coach in Austin Clunch. When I get to Southwest and I'm coaching at Southwest, I'm coaching under a first year head coach. And then obviously last year with Boog, being the director of operations back home, I'm coaching under a first year head coach.
The youngest coach, too.
The youngest head coach. I was coached by the youngest head coach in the country, and then I coached alongside the youngest head coach in the country. So being in those two situations is valuable for me and for what I'm trying to do. I've seen what they did, and, it kind of worked. And not just kind of, it did. So being able to just apply the same things that they've done, and when things get tough and when things get tricky, okay, what would Coach Isaac at Clarendon do? What would Coach Clunch do? What would Boog do? You got to think about stuff like that, and quite often I do, because I'm a first year head coach, and I'm 26, and quite frankly, don't know what the hell is going on, but we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out the way these guys before me have.
And do you think that's like kind of something that you have up your sleeve? You kind of like a sponge. You just soaked up all of what you've seen, all of those experiences firsthand. And especially, obviously, college is different from high school, but I feel like knowing college ball in those circumstances means a lot more. It'll translate more to high school. And especially you can get more high schoolers on board, because I'm sure most high schoolers want to go play after.
Yeah.
So you've seen it firsthand.
Oh yeah. No, the relatability is easy, right? Like, I don't have to coach that. Like, that's kind of understood from just the way I act every day. And, when these kids see me in the hallways at school, like, they see I got an outgoing personality. They see me high-fiving the kids that are walking by. They see, the troublemakers at school come up to me and shake my hand, and they see that. So they see the type of person I am and how I'm able to, I guess, just respect everybody around. And, when you're being able to be outgoing and be respectful of everybody around, it's not like this to yourself, closed off, older person, who tries to be mature and keep their life outside of these kids' life. Sometimes to reach some of these kids, you got to share a little bit. Sometimes you got to give, you got to look a little funny for the sake of reaching the individual, and you got to be uncomfortable or, around these kids.
You got to be uncomfortable around the kids to make them comfortable.
Yes, exactly. Because they see that. See that. So like, if they saw me just kind of, I'll say it like this. There's 4 blocks at Assumption. That's how class periods go. First block, second, third, fourth. After the first block, I just go stand outside my classroom, right? I just go stand outside of it. And everybody just kind of floods to you to shake your hand, to tell you, hey, coach, hey, how is this? And it's my job to acknowledge every single person, every single one, because you don't know what a kid got going on that day. And you don't know what somebody else, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So like, to me, just giving a kid an opportunity to tell them, hey, is big for them. I just think it's different than when you try to close yourself off and keep your life away from these kids. That's just kind of how I look at it in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
You got to share for them to share with you. You got to, and we're not going to get nowhere unless we start,
gelling.
Yeah, unless we start gelling.
Yeah. And let me ask you, what is something that you're most excited for about this, first season, and what's something that you might be a little nervous about?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Something that I'm excited for, just to do it, man. Just to get out there. Like let's see where we're at.
Just get your feet wet.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Something like, I'm excited for that. Like, I'm excited to walk out of my locker room for our first game of the year, our first scrimmage. And I'm excited to just stand on the sidelines and let's see what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously you got a plan of what's going to happen. But
you never know what happens.
The plan never goes the way the plan's supposed to go, right? And I think that's the beauty of it. Shout out Andre Fox. He's always saying the beauty of it. But that's the beauty of it, right? So, and I saw something today. People, fear is only created from your imagination. So you haven't lived what you're scared of yet.
Yeah.
So you get to the point where you're going through it and then see if you're scared or not. That's kind of how I look at it. A fear losing every game, man. Let's just call it for what it is. If I lose every game this year, I'm horrified.
Yeah.
Will I? Absolutely not. It's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But Coach Quanch would say this all the time, and I love it. Only the paranoid survive. Only the paranoid survive. Every day I am paranoid. Every single day. So it's not necessarily I'm scared of anything, or I fear anything, or I'm nervous. I think that's what you just said. I'm nervous about anything, but I'm paranoid about everything. And that's just kind of how I have to operate.
And I love that answer, to be honest. Now let me ask you, what does faith play in your role?
When God is everything, that dude can part the Red Sea and move mountains at the same time. That's awesome. He's everything. You got to, and I'll never try to
push faith.
Yeah. I'll push it. But I certainly follow in myself. Devout Christian, will always be a Catholic. Will always be church every Sunday. Growing up the right way, Catholic school.
Mm-hmm.
It was a necessity for me. My parents actually gave me the option, Thibodaux or E.D. White, and I was, I got to go to E.D. White. I have to go to religion class. You got to go learn. So that was my thing. And your roommate Quinn is actually I love it how he's not afraid to bring God up. He's not afraid to bring Jesus up in any conversation. I have a lot of respect for people who are able to do that.
Yeah,
it's not
important to. Yeah, but continue. I'm sorry.
It's not my most comfortable topic to just bring up out of nowhere. But I'll never shy away from it. Shy away from it. God is,
he's so good, isn't he?
Gotta touch the stuff, man. He don't make no mistakes.
He doesn't. I think, yes, he does it extremely. I give him a lot of flowers for that. I agree with what you say. I don't think you should push religion on someone, but I feel like if someone's confused or something, or might feel some way, you can just share how you feel.
Yes.
How God has helped you. And I don't really see that as pushing faith on someone.
No, it's not. You know, sometimes like it's an understood thing, right?
Yeah.
Like when times are hard, you pray, man, and when times are hard, you pray.
Still pray.
You know, like it is what it is, and that's something that'll never change. That's the one constant in my life that will never change.
Yeah,
you know, for sure.
I love to hear that, man. Now kind of moving on, like with the season, what would you say is like your biggest goal?
My biggest goal this year? Progress. I'm taking over, you know, a team that lost last year and a team that's lost a few years prior. I wouldn't call them losers because, you know, they're not. But I'm taking over a rough program. So I'm playing for progress. I'm playing for progress and improvement. I'm not necessarily playing for points. Wins are cool, and like I am scared to lose every game though, and wins are cool. But I'll lose every game losing it the right way.
Yeah.
You know, we show up on time. You know, we don't have any technicals in the game. You know, we walk out onto the court with our shirts tucked in. We do things the right way. That's what I want to see out of us. I want to see these kids that may be troubled, you know, and I want to see them work towards improving themselves. And that's why I'm here. I'm a life coach. I'm not a basketball coach. You know,
I think basketball is everything.
Yeah.
Culture, everything.
Basketball is life, you know, and a lot of people say that and they're like ball is life, and that. But like, no, like
it's facts.
I truly take it as that. Like, I don't really think about too much else. I really don't. I don't. You give me some music in the evenings, and you give me some basketball during the day, and I'm a cool guy. And, you know, that's really all I need.
Now let me ask you, what are your favorite basketball movies? You're a basketball movie guy?
Oh yeah, White Man Can't Jump.
Okay.
White Man Can't Jump. Then you got Hoosiers.
Okay.
Then you got Coach Carr. So my quote
of the day. What's up with Coach Carr?
My quote of the day in my classroom today, I'm not lying to you. No bullshit. It says, because I have a quote of the day every day. I have to.
You need it. Yeah.
That's part of me being a teacher. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing all the way as the teacher.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, what I do to make up for it is you teach them life. So every day we got a quote of the day. Today was our deepest fears is not that we are inadequate, but that we are, and that I left blank, blank, blank to see if anybody knew it. And, you know, first class, they knew it. Second class, they knew it. Third class, they knew it. So I was proud of them. But I left it blank, you know, so they could tell themselves that we are powerful beyond measure. You know, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure, you know, and I think
that gives me goosebumps. Right? I just got goosebumps right now, the way you said it. Bro.
Yeah,
like,
you know, it's
no shit.
You got to teach it to them that way. You got to let them see it, and you got to let them think it. If you see it and you think it, that's two more things than what you've already not done. So that's two more ways you can get better at learning something, you know?
Yeah. So if I was on there, I'd put 11 basketball 1. That's my point, though. Coach Carter is a tough second. It's like a 1A, 1B type beat.
If I had to go those three, though, that I just said, I would go White Man Can't Jump, Coach Carter, then Hoosiers.
Okay.
Loving basketball ain't bad either. I'm not going to lie to you. That's not
I showed it to Corin probably like, I forgot what coach. I think it was when DB was here. You were here when DB was.
I was not here when DB. Shout out DB, though. Yeah.
Yes, I didn't say this while on the pod, but I did shout him out for telling him, because he kind of helped me out with the Enjoy Life. You know, he always said that. Yeah. So that, and congratulations to you for your job. Clap dog with my dog.
Congrats.
So happy for you. But anyways, I showed Quinn the movie probably his second year there, and DB was cutting our hair, and he was like, we were talking about movies and stuff. And I was like, yeah, me and Quinn just watched that. He'd never seen it. And he was like, man, I called that dude Quincy for a year, and he never understood what I was saying. And then he finally called him, and he was like, okay. And I was see what he
like, oh, yeah.
A whole last year. But no, man, I I'm glad to hear that, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited to see what you do with this program. I think you're gonna make great things happen. Like my boy J. Cole says, make waves in the low tide. That's my favorite thing to say. But let me ask you about your assistant coach.
No, don't. I don't want to talk about him. My God, what's up?
Um, what kind of like energy does he bring to the table, you think?
Oh man. Well, first of all, shout out Jalen White.
Shout out Jay.
Another dude who's consistently himself. Um, he's so far he's brung a lot. Like just in the, I think he's been with me since about a month and a half now.
Mm-hmm.
He's been roles a month and a half. He is invaluable, man. Just the stuff he's able to tell these kids. He's a little bit like me. He's a little bit like me in the sense of he's just outgoing, willing to talk,
Yeah.
and not afraid to talk. That's what I like about him the most. He's not afraid to tell anybody anything. And as a coach, you know, we got to be able to do that, you know. But so far he's been good, man. A lot of energy, a lot of effort. He's given me a lot of effort. And he's certainly trying to make an impact in these kids' life, and he's doing a good job at it.
Yeah.
You know, I had one of my kids walk into the office, you know, before school started this morning, asking for him. Hey, Coach, where's Jay White? Where's Jay White?
Yeah.
That'll be here Thursday. Don't worry about it. Jay White's got school right now, so
Yeah.
you know he's taking care of what he has to and helping me at the same time. Like
That's your respect. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I texted him today. I was like, yo, I told him that you were coming on. He was like, oh gosh, I'm not ready for the slander I'm about to hear.
I'm
gonna save you on you, Jay.
Yeah, I'm gonna save you, Jay White. I ain't gonna fish fry you today, man. So don't worry.
You lucky. You lucky you're part of the staff.
You Dr. Pepper drinking mother. So we good though. We good though.
Yeah, you're gonna need that Dr. Pepper on deck.
Dude,
You might have to put it in the cooler.
dude uses that as toothpaste. I can't get over it. Something else, man. Jay White said that me and Jay White hooped with our guys the other day. He didn't stretch. I was like, Jay White, what's up? He said, you ever seen a dog stretch before he chases a bone? No, Jay White.
Him and stretching, bro. He
is against it. He's like, yeah, I'm stretching.
Like, it's terrible.
The best shooter in the country a few years in college basketball hasn't stretched a single muscle.
A guy who calls game on LSU.
Hey.
Like,
hey, LSU.
LSU basketball.
Y'all got a game by somebody. Don't even. I'm not just gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. I'm not gonna hate on LSU, man.
Shout out LSU.
LSU some real ones.
That football game.
That doesn't surprise me. That's the Nichols way. That's the Nichols way.
Mm-hmm.
Like what JT is doing at Nichols. Shout out to the athletic director.
Shout out JT
and the culture he's building. You know, we are low major. Nichols is very low major.
They might not have the budget that
we just don't have it, right?
Like McNeese or
yeah, but that doesn't stop us. Like at the end of the day, when we're talking about sports and competition, we're talking about guys lining up in a field of play or a quarter play to play somebody else. We're not talking about how much money is outside of the field. We're not talking about what are you training when you're not playing. We don't talk about that. It's me against you. And we're going to find out, you know, who puts in some real work, who puts in the most work. And we'll find out who's better.
Yeah.
You know, for Nichols to even compete in the game like LSU a few weekends ago, like hats off. That is a win. That is a win for Nichols. That is a win for the city of Thibodaux. I think that's a win for the state of Louisiana. You know, LSU still won, and they were able to do what they were supposed to in the second half.
Yeah.
But like, they shouldn't be upset because shoot, we're an hour away. What would you expect?
Yeah.
But most sports fans don't want to hear stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't understand the logistics, and you know, they don't understand. They're not in it. So it's hard to explain that to people who aren't in that type of environment every day.
Yeah. Some see the picture, but they don't get the point. Lil Wayne. Are you a Lil Wayne guy, Tom?
Yeah, big Lil Wayne.
Big Wayne. Weezy's are number one in this house.
Yeah, he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT. If you don't think he's the GOAT, you need to come talk to me.
We
need to talk.
We talked about this, me and Brennan, in our episode. He got hosed for the halftime performance, bro. Can you believe that?
In the city?
Yeah.
It doesn't, there's not a better
Yeah.
It's not a better person.
I'm really disappointed.
I get it. If we're talking real, like I get it, right? You know, like Kendrick's popping right now, probably overall popping more than anybody.
Not a big Kendrick guy.
He took out Drake. Shoot, he took out Drake. Only other person I know who can possibly take out Drake is Wayne. Listen, hear me out. Hear me out.
Soul music. I like soul music.
Isn't it
Like Mad City, like all that album.
Power, all that.
Yeah.
That's good
New
stuff.
Like DNA was okay, but everything after that
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Now look, the Not Like Us goes hard. Not like that.
We're gonna have to degree.
Hey Drake. Hey Drake. But look, man. No. Liz, I think he should. Kenny, just tell him to come out for like a little promo real quick. Tell him get Weezy out on the stage for 5-10 minutes. Turn the seat out.
But it's just like
give the people what they want.
Kendrick was at the Super Bowl the other like when the Rams played in LA. You know, it was a big LA theme. Why can't we get a NOLA theme and put Weezy up there?
New Orleans hosts some Super Bowls now.
They have the most Super Bowls hosted. I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I actually read into something. I don't know how true this is, because you know how the internet is nowadays. But apparently, like, in the beginning of the Super Bowl era, they just wanted to host it, like, every year in New Orleans, in the Superdome.
It's the place to host it every year.
Fact. I mean, the city.
I can't think of another city in the United States that can throw a party like the city of New Orleans.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
No, I think you're right. I think he got hosed.
Yeah.
Some bull.
So we're going to have to hear Not Like Us probably over 9.5 times.
Not mad about it, though. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
Okay, man.
I don't think it's that good, but we'll agree to disagree on that one. But I'm trying to think if I missed anything before we kind of go into our closing segments. Is there anything else that I kind of missed or anything you want to talk about?
Well, I got something for you.
Okay.
And when you first started at Johnny's, what was that like? What made you say, okay, Johnny's is where I'm gonna go?
You caught me off guard. I was not expecting you to ask that.
Been getting me right some years now with some tailored clothing.
So a little backstory. Before I worked at Johnny's, right after like football season and all that finished, my senior year of high school, it's probably around like January, February. You know, the car wash by Waffle House.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work there.
All right.
Eric Aber, my old boss.
Mm-hmm.
That was like my first job ever.
Mm-hmm.
I never worked before that. So
nice.
You know, like $200, like every other week I thought I was the man.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be feeling like the man. I thought I was it. But then, like, you know, after 3 months, I'm like, holy shit, there's no money.
This is
not it. I hate it here.
It's easier to find a job when you got a job.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I was like, gosh, I really don't like it here. But, like, you know, obviously I was going to thug it out a little bit. So then I saw in my private story, I don't know if you know Nick Terracina. He's a year older than me.
Mm-hmm.
He went to E.D. White. He's a year older than me. Shout out Big Nick and shout out Little Nick. That's what we call him.
All right.
Well, he posted on his story. He was like, if anyone's interested in working at John, he's like, slide up. And it was a little bit before school started. And I was like, one, I ain't no outside dude. Like, I got asthma. I breathe like Darth Vader. I ain't going sweat in the sun.
Yeah.
Like, that ain't me. Like, that ain't it. So I was like, I hit him up. And I was like, yo, like, I'll come work, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I got this. I quit my job. I quit my other job at the car wash, give him my 2 weeks. Didn't even have the other job yet.
Mm-hmm.
So probably like a solid like month or two goes by.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, hey, you still want to work? And I'm like, fucking right.
Yeah.
And so I went over there one day, like talked to him, and he was like, yeah, just come tomorrow.
It's going to be real.
The rest was history.
Yeah.
That was October of my freshman year. And I stayed until January, going into the spring semester of my senior year. No cap, I think I'm kind of like the best Johnny's employee ever.
I'll give it to you.
I don't. Well, my coworkers might call it debatable, but
you worked with two of my homies. Shout out John Michael Ayers and Ross Saunier. No, not Ross Martin. I'm so sorry. Shout out Ross Saunier if we want to go there, Ross. Ross is funny, but shout out John Michael and Ross Martin for sure.
Yeah, I think the one person I'll put on top as the best worker is Peyton Chasson. Shout out Peyton, Parker's older brother. But yeah, I think of this like age, like the last probably like 5-6 years.
Oh yeah,
I'm definitely number one.
I'll give it to you.
I think people still come walking these days. Like, where's Casey?
Yeah, expect this.
I agree.
You were the face. They kept Clement would come on telling me that that Casey Crutchfield got him right.
Yes, he'd always walk in, and you know how he is. He's you just know how he is. But yeah, man, that was a fun experience. I'm super grateful. Shout out Mr. Nick again. It's like I just met so many people like from working there, and I guess it taught me a lot too. Like it taught me how to really talk. Like maybe I wouldn't be in this situation right now if it wasn't for that. Because sometimes this gets uncomfortable. If you had to do this by yourself, Tom, it'd be so much worse. Like
I get it.
I know you probably feel nervous right now.
Not nervous,
but like, yeah.
But I'll say this, right? Like being a teacher, like these blocks that we got are an hour and a half long, and
it's tough.
I'm not into giving, like, so I don't really. If you just catch me out and about, I'm actually probably fairly quiet. I speak when I'm spoken to. I like to, just kind of not blend in, but just be around, right? You want to be around. So like for me, talking for an hour and a half is a long time.
Yeah.
And you don't realize just how hard that is until you're put in that position to do it.
Yeah.
Man, being able to talk for an extended period of time, like doing a podcast by your own.
Yeah.
Tough.
No, like a 30-minute, I can only probably get it going for like 30, 40 minutes. And then I'm like, all right, I got to wrap this shit up. And the first time I did it, talking about
so many things.
Let's say I started probably at 3 o'clock when I got back from work. I didn't finish the episode till 6, 7 o'clock. So it was only a 40-minute episode. I left and went to the gym. I was so mad. And then I probably did it twice and I was like, that fucking sucked. Let me just run it back. Cause like, I'm kind of that person. I'm like,
oh yeah, it's gotta be right. You only want to do it one way.
Yeah.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll tell you this too. Like when Brody started, because I don't want to say I was around every second of Brody's career.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. Definitely a best friend of mine though.
Yeah.
So like seeing him and holding the camera for him, like fucking up a few times and having to just stop it, restart it. Like now we don't even have a video idea, but we're on the way to the gym. He's like, yeah, we'll do this, and that. And then like he goes out there, you hold the camera one time, he knocks it out of the park, boom.
Yeah.
And then like, the next day you get on TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is.
And it's there, yeah.
Blowing up. And it's just like.
No, I'm so happy for him. That's so cool. Like,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him.
And it seems like, I mean, I know him a little bit. I don't know him as well as you would or as my boy Zach does. Shout out Zach. But he just seems like, just from the interactions I've had, like, he's got his head on straight. Like, he's got his eyes on the prize. He got that tunnel vision.
He called his shot, too. He definitely called his shot. And that's the cool part about it. If you'd ask me what he'd be doing at this point, I'd say this. And then, if you'd ask me what he'd do when we first got to E. White, I'd say this. He called a shot, and he's doing it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see.
I'm excited for him. But with that being said, I'm going to kind of roll out into the closing segment. But this is my favorite question to ask, and I think you know what's coming. Why do you enjoy life, Tom?
It's an opportunity. Every day is an opportunity. To like positively impact somebody's life. That's what it's about. You want to talk about enjoy life? Well, you're just going to enjoy life by yourself? No, bring as many people as you can with you. Bring them all. Bring the village.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's an opportunity. Every day is an opportunity, man. And I've been fortunate enough to be here 26 years, and a lot of people haven't. A lot of people don't have what I have.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get the opportunities that we get. So when we get opportunities, it's our job to make the most of them. And that's all I'm going to do every day. And that's all we can do every day. So just take advantage of your opportunities.
Day by day, we get better and better, baby.
Yes, indeed.
I love that. But with that being said, man, I truly appreciate your time and just kind of like the wisdom that we got to talk about, man. I feel like this is a great episode. I can't wait to watch it. And I always say that after every episode, but I really do like get excited to watch them after.
Mhm.
So
I get excited to watch them too.
yeah,
I do.
and I appreciate you because, like I said, this dude's a real day one for it. Like I cannot wait to look at this because I mean, like I said, I'm locked in. The next like year or two, I cannot wait to like go back and look at this episode. You know, you're already gonna be back on, so
Be like, wow.
you might be showing off a little bling
Wow.
next time.
Hey man, look, I love to. I love
Speak it
to.
into existence.
Yes, indeed.
I would love for you to show off some bling.
We will. We will. We're gonna get it. Don't worry.
But
We're gonna get it.
yes, sir. But with that being said, we're gonna wrap this episode up. Thank you to all the listeners and all the viewers. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and leave a comment. Love reading the comments. But with that being said, we out. Y'all have a great day.